Good day, guys, and good morning, good evening, wherever you might be hanging out in this reality. It's I, Grandpaw Peter Koyote, coming to you once again from our little hovel here in Crestone, Colorado. It's good to see you and hear you again, to feel your good energy coming this way. Guys, hang in there. It's only a few more days, maybe a few weeks, but just hang in there. If you're like me, you've been going through some heart expansion lately, and it's tricky biz. It sure do feel good when it's happening. You know, you feel all this that's been locked inside of you in your chest. You know, right there is finally letting loose. What's hidden beneath that pile of darkness, that circle of angst, is amazing truth. A reality beyond present comprehension. It can't be mathematically ascertained. It can't be found in the solid world, the 3D. It certainly can be found inside of you. In that sense, yeah, it's found everywhere. So there really are no restrictions upon it. There's only a way we've chosen to live, separate and apart from it. And we've had some pretty powerful help in that separate and apart part. You know, the darkness has moved in and taken control in many ways, and influences our every little filament within our being, every little activity that we do. That influence is there, right along with the angelic influence. They kind of counter each other. You know, there's a balance, and there's a way to find that point of balance right smack in the center. That's going into the center of yourself. And you know, not many beings throughout the course of what we know of as history have been able to accomplish that simple little task, because there's been so much activity for and against it that, or against it I should say, cowboyese. But there's been so much activity in these areas that it's kept us thoroughly distracted from the simple truth. That all we really need to do is go inside our heart and be present there, and let that presence come forward and be present everywhere. It's a beautiful thing, this thing we're talking about. And you know, angels are a very real part of our family. If you're human, you've got several angels with you at all times, and sometimes a lot more. And you don't often see them. Once in a while they'll come visit you in physical form. They are shapeshifters. They can appear as anything they want. And it's usually after the fact, you know, after they've been to visit with you, that you realize, oh, that was one of our angels. Or more. I don't know, I've encountered a group of several of them at one time out in the desert. And didn't even know it till after I'd shared water with them and gone on my way, and then I realized, oh, that's why those beings felt so different. They are different, you know. It's just a way of letting you know you're not alone here. Never have been, never will be. And you've got a lot more than just the angelic assistance too. There's the star family, there's the ascended family, And there's every being in creation known that's gathering here with us in these times of ascendancy. Now this is towards the end of February in the year of 2012 when I'm recording this. So the things I say or talk about may not be visible to you except in certain circumstances, but in here, inside yourself, you know. You feel it. You trust this love that's bringing you back to life, and that's why you've come as far with it as you have. And I know I'm not talking to everybody right this moment. There's a select few that are getting through. But they're breaking the trail for you and 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 you. I mean, anyway, for everybody. So it won't be long now before there's a shift. An incredible shift. A time of awakening where your eyes will no longer lie to you. And neither will your heart, because it never has. You move beyond the incomprehensible and it becomes comprehensible. Many of you are already questioning your sanity because it seems like your thinking, your thoughts, your actions are taking you beyond anything you've known before. Well, this is going to be happening for everybody here pretty quick. In the blink of an eye, it will change. And what you've come to accept and ascertain as life here will no longer be. Yet you'll still be living and you'll still be the same person, and everything that's around you will still be around you. You're just seeing through the lies that have been taught to you since the beginning of time. You know, we're the rescue crew. Many of us here, and all of us that are human. We've come to gather back to our heart the angels that were lost so long ago, that chose another role, another way, and fell into darkness and began to influence beings and energies in what we know of now as a negative way. In those times when it began, we hardly knew what to call it. Still don't, really. But they've chosen a difficult state for themselves, and there was no getting out of it. It was like they were trapped there forever. And we couldn't let them go. They're our brothers and sisters. And despite their negative feelings towards us, we had nothing but love and compassion for them. We as those who were to become human. So we came here, along with the Mother Earth, who needed some ascendancy herself and some righteous new experience. We came here as a collective, a singular thought, an act of love, a motion, a reality, to bring back to our Mother's heart those whom she thought she had lost. And in the Father, find the Mother as well. Because truth is, there's no separation between them. Grandma and Grandpa are the same being, the same person. And they live inside of you, and me too. So as you're feeling this expansion inside, it's kind of like a coming together of what seems so polarized inside of you, and this is beginning to reflect itself in the earth around you. Your Mother's ending her polarity too, you see. There's no need to be pulled in opposite directions. There's no need to be anything other than what we are. Because that's what we're born to be. Yeah, we've adopted some rather strange roles for ourselves. Many of us have put on these shields of armor. Great fear and danger. Don't mess with me, I'll get you. Kind of thing. We've had to do these kind of things to survive. It was worth it. And gone through all kinds of living hell because of it, of course. But it was worth it. All the wars and stupidity, which we're about to erase from the realm of existence. But all that was a part of the baited trap to bring our lost brothers and sisters in and bring them back home again. By bringing ourselves back home, by allowing them to occupy us. Now, I've told you in previous videos some of the scenarios that depict how this came about and how they did invade us. We were allowed to live here without the invasion for quite some time and assimilated much of the earth experience like children living in a playpen, a huge one. And that thought has never left us. That experience is a part of us now. So we still kind of feel that way, even though it's so incredibly corrupt everywhere you look around us, in human existence. But you have to remember, these are beings and presences that have agreed prior to their awakening here to come and be the bait, so that those occupiers would occupy them and cause them to be some of the most horrible and miserable things you could imagine as human beings. And empty, empty shells. These are the leaders and rulers of humanity. These are the psychopaths that truly are psycho, that have no knowledge or awareness other than what's given to them. Yet they willingly live that role. Because they know that in one generation or another, the awakening does occur. Now, we brought it in stages and steps, and most of them were sneaky as all get out, and very, very little known in the terms of historical recording. For example, in 1994, the 100th heart made that turn. The 100th human heart made the turn to the light, along with its dark companion, inside of a human being. And because this was the 100th, that tipped the scales, that turned the balance in our favor. It didn't have to be every being, because these 100 are every being. One, remember the one. You're going to understand this a whole lot better. But many of you, as this existence begins to reveal itself, this that was secured for us back in 1994, see, now it doesn't ripen until the present time. This is when it's happening. But you understand the energy that put it into motion, the decision, if you will, on the part of humanity was made quite some time ago. Seems like yesterday, but 1994. And even before that. But that was just the last little pin drop. The straw that broke the camel's back, or actually built it back up again. So now, our brothers and sisters of the star families and of the angelic realms can begin to reveal themselves to us. And not only that, it's not that they're even revealing. It's that we're opening up to see. It's called conscious expansion into awareness. And it starts right here inside with those feelings you're having now, today, and have been having in previous days. It's that opening. You feel this great need to sedate yourself or enhance yourself, augment, amplify. Be careful with this. But help yourself to that which you know will bring you into truthfulness. And anything that seems to get in your way, persons included, they can be excluded for a while. They're unnecessary distractions. So some of you may have to get off into the private presence of your being in some other place in order to be left alone long enough to get this. But most of you will be able to do it on your feet, just walking, just being. Whatever it is you're doing now, continue doing it, because it comes. And as it does, and we begin to see beyond the restrictions, everybody else will too, and they're going to need some help. But the best help you can give them right now is to get out of the way. Don't be in their way. Don't let them see you making these transitions. Let them feel you. Because that's how you help them. Now, many of us are gathering together in these little centers, these circles of light, so that we can hold the energy, the love, for those who are just coming into it for the first time in many centuries. So these groups are really necessary, because there's going to be some terror out there. Some that are going to be so afraid. And if it gets too off the wall, I do think there'll come a time where everybody will just go to sleep while it happens. But I don't think that's going to be necessary. I think we've gone beyond that now. I think the numbers of those who are expanding has gotten large enough now that no one's going to have to go to sleep. Some may choose to check out, but they ain't going anywhere, because what we're bringing here is what they go there for in death. It's not happening anymore. When this moment comes, death is over with, babies. We've already superseded that. And that happened sometime this year, and I can't tell you exactly when, but obviously it's the end of February, so sometime in the last 2 months, death was superseded by a human being, by several human beings. You see, it happens in these quiet ways, and then comes the startling revelation of what's real and truthful. And it's awakening in you right now, and all of these others too. You want disclosure? You want to know the truth about UFOs and all this stuff? All the mystery stuff that's been going on in the background in government circles, those sneaky little turds. You want to know what's happened? Just keep expanding into conscious awareness inside of yourself. Come clean. When you see the lies, see through the lies. Understand your truth. Don't hide. Don't hide. Let the fear go. If you look, you know exactly where you're going, because you've been there before. This is called remembering. This is called coming into your truth. This is called being who you are. It's the awakening. It's what we've waited for. And don't be distracted by anything else. All of this that is so troublesome to you will be resolved as you expand openly into this conscious awareness. Be this, babies. Ride this horse. And it's going to take you for a wild ride. But you're going to be secure on that pony's back. You're not going to fall. It's not going to buck. She's taking you home and making it easy on you, because you can ride right into it. And of course, the horse, the pony I'm talking about, the truth. What else would you be riding on? And nobody can tell it to you. They can only love it into you. The same way you're beginning to love it into others. And that's how we change this world. That's how we create this revolution we've been waiting for so long. It started back in the 60s and the 1800s and the 1600s and the Renaissance. I mean, you know, it goes back a ways. We made a lot of steps here. Getting here where we are now. When truth is really simple and pure. And we got it! Those of you that feel the call, come join us here. Let's do this thing together. Hold this center of light for all who are made of love. And realize our empowerment, our return to heart. Babies, we never lost it. We just thought it went away. But it's here to stay. And it's never gone. Your heart is completely intact. And far from being broken. It's as whole and as pure as it can be. And it is this simple fact, simple knowing, that allows you to see. And then the liars can tell no lies, for truth is all around you, and you cannot be deceived. Imagine the change that this is going to be. Oh baby, hang on. We love you.